Hello and welcome to the second video in Puzzles and Dragons 101. Like I said in the last video, and for though I'll say it again, I did not mean attribute, I meant type throughout the video, but I was just trying to get the first video out, so I didn't really wasn't really saying the right things in that video completely. Anyway, this video is going to be about materials. Let me pull those up. So for the materials, I'll say we have 4 of them. We have Evo materials, like stuff like this crystal, the keepers, the masks, the gems. Sometimes not this one. That's a redeemable. And these little ghost dudes, they are like the Evo types. Then we have the Awakens, which is basically just the pies. All of them have PY at the end of their name. And the Ons, because they have an AN in their name. These are the advanced version of the pies. These dudes are for the like enhancing or awakening of units. Or if you saw my story mode playlist, you know that sometimes Evo material is also given out to certain units for certain units evolutions under that too. Okay, and then we have event type stuff. This is a better example. This comes from the Puzzles and Dragons Academy event that happens every now and then, just like Godfest does. And then we have the Awaken stuff. Awakens are just like power-ups you can give your character, and they take up different levels of space, and each unit can have 6 to 8 spaces for Awaken cores. That's my name for them, little Awaken cores. But like, for example, this one takes up 6, so most only have 6, so this would take up all of their space for additional abilities. While something like this takes up 2. And now killers. I'll get like killers. Now here's the thing with killers. They basically are like they make a unit stronger against that type. For example, this one would make a unit stronger against dragons, and then there's one for machines and one's for like balance and attackers and healers and stuff like that. So these are honestly some of my favorite ones, if I'm being honest. And they take up 2 slots, by the way. This one is the best pie. It works for all attributes. I'm using the right word this time. like water, wood, fire, light, and dark all can use this one to enhance or awaken themselves. These things are just used in a lot of different ways. I don't know why. And then we have the last part, which is the redeemables. And there's a reason I'm doing all of them at once here, because there's a lot to go through with these guys. So redeemables are ones that have a monetary a high-ish monetary value, sometimes super high value when sold. Like this one, for example, gives you 100 million coins, which, trust you me, that's not much in this game. But you get a lot of money through playing this game anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. This just gives you that minor boost you need to get that little bit you need. So now, oh yeah, also, these guys are the staple enhance units. Well, they used to be until a few updates back, when these guys just became better for redeem and sell items, so you can use them. They better use as sell items, even though they still say enhanced materials. Just saying. Yeah. Now let's go to a unit and let me show you how these work. This, get rid of the filter. Let me go to a unit that I haven't upgraded with nothing. You see, I want to upgrade. No. Why not? Let's work with this one from the Goblin Slayer collab. I'd never used this unit before. So we go to enhance here for this unit. And also there's something called plus enhancement points that you get throughout doing certain things in the game. But that's more for like powering up the unit, and the highest you can give them is, well, let me just go, since I'm going over powering up units, let me just do this right here. It can go up to 297, and the game will distribute 99 points to HP, RCU, and attack for each to that unit. So let's go ahead and do that. I have so much of it. And then there's power up fusion, but so you can like take certain units. You can take either a unit here, but don't use your units if you don't have to, because you might bump into something you need them for. Stuff like this. This is what I mean by it. These guys are good enhanced materials, but if you sell like these dudes, these dudes are very good for like leveling super fast with your units. But if you sell these dudes, you can still use one thing I really love about them changing this part, you keep the EXP. There's an EXP stack on your account for all of these units that had EXP or enhanced units that you sell. So instead of just getting the EXP, you can also sell them off for money and still have it stored away for when you use the automatic system to upgrade your characters. What I mean by that is the automatic system. Go to max, go here to the blue button up here next to the unit. And then this is where you use those EXP points that's just stored away on your account. You can just go do all the stuff like max skill, like max limit breaks, max super limit break, and max awaken. But I'm gonna do all that when we get done with the unit explanation. Then we have skill level up. This is where you use these little guys, the pies and the ons. And then go to Latent Awakening to add in these extra boosts here. And also, this is also where you can use this. This right here is for your extra slots, the things I mentioned earlier. This is where you put your Latent Awakenings. Like I said before, you only get 6 to 8, but most have 6. But nowadays, with so many collaborations, half of them at least have 8 now. But to get the other 2, you need to apply 2 of these extra slot Latent Awakenings to that unit. I'll make sure you saw that. If you look below on the right around under them right there, like look down on the screen, you see that 2 of these slots just got unlocked. Then you do that. And that's what you should see. And then I'm just going to throw one on her. I don't want to do too much. Just throw this. This'll do. This isn't a build, by the way. I'm just throwing these together. And then right there. And then you should see, then the unit should start to glow like this. It has 2 stars on it. That means it is fully awakened. And it has all of its plus enhancements, mean it's at plus 97, which means 99 boost to all its stats all throughout. And then I'm going to show you what the screen looks like when you level the skill using 2 of these. And there's a skip button if you don't want to click through these notifications. And then we have the max enhance button that I didn't mention that I was going to go through. For the sake of showing off how limit break works, I'm just going to do this right here, max level for now. Then it'll automatically put your unit to that. And this is how limit break works right here. You need at least 1 super snow globe dragon and 99,000 coins. Like I said before, you will not be out of money in this game as long as you play it right. And I'm a free-to-play player. I know this. I've been playing for years. So now this will make her max level be 110 instead of just being 99. And then there's this thing called Super Awaken, but that's this question mark up here next to all her abilities right here. This question mark is the Super Awaken. And it'll show what abilities this unit can Super Awaken. And you should tie your awaken abilities up down here to this right here if you possibly can, unless this right here is its more viable options. So I'll show you a Super Awaken, and you can either use 297 points you would normally use for a plus enhancement on a unit on this to get a Super Awaken, or you can, and it costs 101,000 coins, or you can just use 1,188 points instead of 297 and use 40 Tama draws, which is another resource you'll never run out of in this game, trust you me. Unless, well, of course, you don't play the Tama draw Jundens when they appear. But I prefer always to go with the 297 points option. If you want to distribute those plus enhancement points for a whole team of units at some point, collect them. Don't use them if you don't have to. Then you see a wheel right here, and then you'll get a random option. With the other option, you can choose the one. That's why it costs so much. And then I'm going to do another max here so we can super enhance. We can go higher than that. Now we're going to super max limit break this unit. This one is 5 super snow globe dragons and 1 million coins. And this will bring her max level to 120, which is the max level for these characters. Then I'll go here again. I don't have to do this. I can just go manually do it, but being that I have so many points, I can just go here, press this, instantly level 120. And if you want to know where you can see all your stored stuff, it's up here. And when you click your coins to gems stuff, see I have 18 gems. I have 23,311,000. No, I don't even know. It's like 23, then 31, and 38, then like there's it's a big number of coins. And then we have my PAL points, which that's going to be in how the gacha system works in this game section video. The MP is is like, how do I put it? Monster points. Monster points will be actually in this video, so I need to I need to go there to explain where to find this stuff. And here it is, the monster stock. That's where you find that too. And that's how you know how much stored EXP you have, that you don't need to use your actual box units. You can just insta level stuff with your EXP stock. Now for where you can find these things, and that would be the shop. The MP shop, other than the fact that they'll have like every collab event or event period, they'll have like a unit that's very worth it for that event. Sometimes you might like it on a future team for 1 million monster points. Now, this one is something you're going to store away and keep for later if you choose to. Unless you're good at the game and can farm these things, good on you. I don't do that because I don't really use monster points much. But, like, this is where you're going to get most of your materials. This is how you get your little Evo, your EX, the things you need to evolve. You don't need to go to dungeons. You can just go here, get what you need. And they have all the previous, they have all of the, a lot of the previous Evo things from before the one of those big, a massive update. Like this one is from the new year. This is for New Year's units. This is for Valentine's Day units. This is for Puzzles and Dragons Academy. This is for another version of the New Year's, but it's based off like weddings type setting units. And this is the summertime unit. This thing is used for summertime units. And this is used for a Pacific unit right here. This is used for a Pacific unit. And this one is typically used for the Christmas units. And this one is special. I'm going to get into this right here. This right here is an expensive thing, but it's worth it because this is how you get your pixel creature, your pixel evolutions. It even shows the illustration of it turning a normal unit into a pixel unit. That's what this thing is for. And everything else is just stuff. And also you can also get like the more basic everyday use things like this some latent awakening Tomadraws, like, and these all take up one slot, so you could stick 6 or 8 of these things onto a unit. But I still say use them more. Ones that use up more slots, they have more use. Unless you're making a generic team just to start out the game and get used to the game for yourself, that's cool. But I still, or you want a unit to have more resistance against certain attribute. They have one for all the different attributes right there. Then they have one for movement speed, like more move time, or one for auto RCU, like when you, this is auto RCU and RCU are different. RCU is like the personal the heal time of that unit, while auto RCU applies to that unit and the rest of the team. And this is for just RCU here. This is for a little bit more attack. And this is for a little bit more HP. And all of these come in the plus variant, which I showed you in my box, where they have 2 pluses on the illustration. They're the stronger versions of these that take up 2 slots instead of 1. But you'll tend to be using 2 of these more than 1 of those. And then this dude is a special unit because he is a redeem. He doesn't say it, but this dude is a very good redeem enhanced material. This is a metal dragon. And ever since they introduced like redeemable metal dragons, I've been happy. Because like this has been the only metal dragon for a while before they introduced redeemable metal dragons. But when it comes to metal dragons, that's a whole different video because there's a lot to go with them. And material dragons in general. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go there. Let's do that for a second. Cause I'm about to go over there anyway. So, Monster Exchange, your one-stop shop for everything, collaboration, regular trade, gems, enhancements, everything you need for this game. First, you have regular, which is cool, that you get all these units that you might want to get in the future. This part of Monster Exchange will never change unless they add more to it. And then there's the event and it's the event one, where if it's an event based off of in the universe of Puzzles and Dragons, kind of like this one right here with the Crystal Flowers event, with the Crystal Flower Monsters event going on, they'll have this stuff here. Then you have the collab stuff. The collab, not really interested in the one that's currently going on, but they'll typically have like some items. And the collab is another video I'm gonna do separate, because how collabs work is very weird if you don't know how to work it. And then they'll have at the bottom of the list like some stuff like this, like some Latent Awakenings for you. And here it is, right there. Rainbow Metal Dragons. This they started to give Metal Dragons a description of how much they worth by sell as well. On top of the fact that they have a high enhanced value. They basically replaced Globe Dragons as the primary enhance unit. These things actually give out sometimes give out more EXP than the Globe Dragons. Like, for example, this thing gives out 50 million monster EXP, or if you sell it, 50 million monster stock EXP for your character, for the thing. And they also sell for very high price, so if you sell these dudes, it's a very good option. Then we have the gems. This is where you get your gems. The Monster Exchange. A lot of units use gems, so really look out for having some units on the side that you don't use, that you can trade for a gem or two, unless you do the gem dungeons when they pop up. And this is also where you get the character exclusive gems, so you can trade the character. You can trade the character for their gem version. Like, take this one, you can trade him to get his gem, so you can evolve another monster. Or take Ace here, one of the protagonists of the series, or the animated series back when I was popular, and I really, really do love the animated series. I'm gonna say that right now. For his crystal to evolve certain creatures with an Ace evolution. Then this is the place we need to be at for the enhanced. Like, this is where you get your Globe Dragons, your King Diamond Dragons right here. Like, he's a Metal Dragon too. This is what I call them Material Dragons, because Sapphire Dragons and like the Sapphires and Ruby Dragons also are under the Metal Dragon thing, because they all also now are redeemable and enhanced types of things that you can have. Here it is right here. See, this one takes up 6 slots, but this has a massive boost to skill boost timing. if you have a skill boost based team. This is where you get all your 6 slot stuff. And you get 3 for rainbow coin. Rainbow coins are very easy to obtain unless you don't know how to obtain them. Best to learn quick though. And then you have your Tama draws right here, and then you can trade up 2 baby Tama draws. These things are merely here to trade up for Tama draws. That's the main point. And then you can, and then these ons can go higher. Then there's the the small ons. I have the king ons, but there's like smaller ons that you can get in this game. And then you can trade up the king ons, 3 king ons to get like one of these dudes, the pies. Or you can trade in, or you can trade in the rainbow pie for 2 of the more elemental pies if you go for needing a specific attribute here. Now, I think the last part here is the let me go back to my example here. Where is she at? Right here, and this right here is a maxed out character, maxed out type unit here. It looks great, but then you can add more of these boosts here if you give her an assist. But I don't know if I'm gonna use that unit. Might get rid of it later. Where is it? Stuff like this. That bought this right here, Awaken Assist. If the character has this, if the unit has assist on it, anything under Awaken Assist is something that comes from this item. Cause see, this thing gave that unit more abilities, and that's how. And in conclusion, that is how these boosts work. The next one will be about evolution types. And then after that, we're going to go through some dungeons, how the dungeons work. Then we'll see where we go from there. That being said, this has been Puzzles and Dragons 101. Thank you for listening, class, and have yourselves a nice day. Peace.